Good evening to everybody here. Thanks for having me. Hi. I was here like 2 weeks ago, I think. And I'm going to be performing the same piece that I performed here around 2 weeks ago. And it's a very personal poem, so I hope you guys listen and I hope you guys like it. I'm the kind of person that doesn't ask questions simply because I always fear the answer. Are you leaving? Will you come back? Why not? So I've stopped asking them. But there will come days I realize that you will be forced to ask questions simply because you already know the answer. Dad? Are you disappointed? Daddy? Are you drunk? Papa? How much longer do you have? People have constantly told me that I was a bright girl, simply because as a child, my mind was spinning questions around like webs, and they were strung around the corners of my head. And I liked getting answers back then. They were like silk, and each answer made me proud that I had enough synapses to collect them, like honeycombs and beehives. They kept coming in. And like the queen, I was proud to have them. I was. And up until now, I keep telling myself that I should have stopped there. I should have kept those connections. Shouldn't have tried to bite off more than I can chew. It was almost like the caterpillar grew wings and turned into a butterfly without getting into a chrysalis, forced to understand what it needs to do for the flowers, what it can do for the flowers, forgetting the aspect of choice and full knowledge of all the repercussions. But when you're 8 years old, you think hearts are real shapes, not outlined by your fists. And when someone tells you that they're going to tell you a secret in exchange for, sitting on their lap, you'll never think what can happen next. Most of us never want to. But 8 years old was much too young, much too gullible, trusting and naive. 8 years old was meant for playing outside in the streets, not pretending to be adults under the sheets. And I used to think that I was ahead. I used to think I knew something girls my age didn't know yet. Well, it wasn't exactly wrong. I was 11 when I realized what it was. I didn't ask or tell anyone or breathe about it at all. I acted like it was smoke, that it would vanish, as though the ants would crawl all over it and turn it into dust. And I didn't have to think about it. But hands were crawling against my skin in places I didn't even know I had. Called me names, told me I looked good in it. And I could feel my body sinking, but even if I gasped for air, there was nowhere for me to go. So I shut my mouth, along with the use of my voice. And I thought that was a smart thing to do. After all, who would believe me? In some way, I asked for it, right? For years, my question was met by the silence at the back of my own mind. I became the kind of person that doesn't ask questions simply because I always fear the answer. Why did I stop? What did I do wrong? What do I do now? I became the kind of person that doesn't ask questions simply because I always fear the answer. Who's going to listen to me? Where do I go from here? And how do I even let it get to this? I became the kind of person who doesn't ask questions simply because I always fear the answer. Why did this happen to me? Why did this go away? And who? Love something like this. It took me 10 years. I was 19 when I read it. I cried. I knew what it meant, and I couldn't get it out of my head, especially when Sam said, "Why do I, and everyone I love, pick people who treat us like we're nothing?" To which Charlie replied, "We accept the love we think we deserve." The last question I remember asking myself was, what am I supposed to do with what's left after all this? I didn't like questions enough to become one.